in the event MTRL moves with its critical staff. Honorable Speaker, the World Bank reports that an estimated 1 billion people, or 15% of the world population, suffer disability challenges. Just under 500 million of them reside in developing countries, with 80 million of them living in Africa. Kenya National Bureau of Statistics Census report of 2019 indicates that about 4.4%, an equivalent of 2.3 million Kenyans, suffer from various forms of disabilities. Here at home, Kenya National Bureau of Statistics reported approximately 15,057 people live with disability challenges. Of this, 6,835 are men, while 8,221 are women. Tellingly, Kenya National Bureau of Statistics reports challenges in getting exact figures because most of the people living with different abilities come from families who hold on cultural taboos and norms that stigmatize or prohibits exposure of persons living with disabilities. Most of these forms of disabilities can be easily corrected if a person is taken through a comprehensive assessment. It is also worth noting that there is no specialized assessment in this region. Our people have to travel to Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, towards the end of the first term, I visited Jebula Tarako Ward, and a group of elders from Kabo, my Kamara, and families and community offered 6 acres of land to the county government of Uasin Gishu and requested that a special institution for people living with disabilities be established on the land. This is based on this dream and pragmatic action of the patriotic families and Jebulal community that we went ahead and budgeted Kenya shillings 200 million in the financial year 2021-2022 for the construction of the assessment center. The construction works began in earnest in the financial year 2021-2022, and the close of the year, a total of 138 million was rolled over to 2022-2023 financial year in the Department of Education, including balances for this facility. However, during the first supplementary budget, the funds were diverted to other areas, stalling the project and forcing the contractor to abandon site on account of non-payment of certified certificates. The center was to comprise an assessment center, a dedicated hospital, and an education institution for imparting skills to people living with different abilities. It is with this background that I ask this Honorable House, together with the executive arm of government, to consider bringing this dream to fruition. Honorable Speaker, it should be noted that this facility was designed with utmost diligence with the support of Kenya Institute of Special Education, the only available assessment center in the Republic of Kenya. This was going to be the second and largest center for serving the entire western part of Kenya, comprising 23 counties. I therefore urge this Honorable House, and in particular those nominated to represent persons with different abilities, to reinstate the funds meant for this project and ensure its completion. Honorable Speaker, cooperatives play a very critical role in mobilizing savings and providing cheap and accessible loans to its members. It is envisaged under the bottom-up transformation agenda that they play a critical role in aggregation of agricultural products through the county aggregation industrial parks for value addition. To this end, the previous administration initiated the Moiso milling plan, jointly owned by the primary cooperatives from Soy and Moiben sub-counties through their union, Moiso Cooperative. This project has stalled for lack of funds needed to complete it. However, it should be noted that during the supplementary budget of 2023, 90 million shillings that was provided for under the Enterprise Development Fund was removed, forcing the project to stall. Honorable Speaker, I applaud the commitment of the government to allocate 120 million shillings for the completion of Moiso milling plan. In this regard, I urge the primary cooperatives to repay their loans as the project is being completed, and for the equitable distribution of resources and access to value addition chains, I implore this Honorable House and the Executive to consider funding the establishment of the Marathon milling plant for primary cooperatives in Kapseret and Tarko sub-counties, and Borotet Union for primary cooperatives in Ainapkoi and Keses sub-counties. Honorable Speaker, the previous administration passed and assented to the Uasin Gishu County Equitable Development Fund Act 2019, which gave powers to honorable members of this House, together with the Executive Committee member for Finance and Economic Planning, and Ward Development Committee members, to identify projects that would be funded through this fund. This was a noble idea that created equity on programs affecting individual wards. I implore upon this honorable House to consider amending this act to give autonomy to the fund and to prevent conflict between the executive and the legislature. Honorable Speaker, allow me to highlight the effects of flagship projects. I am fully aware that flagship projects are huge and financial prudence require that multi-year funding approach be used. I am also aware that each administration wishes to establish its flagship projects as a landmark and placeholders in the history of development and socio-economic development. I am informed of sessional paper number 3 of the second session, third sitting of this assembly, requesting for accountability on viability of these flagship projects. While this accountability is welcome, I urge this honorable House to critically look at the benefits of the projects and reserve the funds to complete these projects for the benefit of the people of Uasin Gishu County without political undertones of who will take credit. Honorable Speaker, government exists in perpetuity, and when its administrators change, irrespective of the initiator, it is always the government of the day that garners the credit for the completion of such projects. The same could be said of the standard gauge railway, as the expressway at the national level. These are dreams of previous administration and were implemented by the successors. I urge this honorable House and the county executive to emulate His Excellency the President Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, who has gone ahead to ensure completion of all projects started by the previous administration while pursuing the implementation of his own manifesto. Honorable Speaker, on environmental protection and climate change, I commend this administration for meeting the minimum requirement conditions to qualify for the World Bank funds on financing locally led climate action programs and developing the work plans. I urge this honorable House to consider that the Uasin Gishu County Climate Change Act 2021 is followed in implementing these programs at the ward levels. Honorable Speaker, we are all aware that the Eldoret municipality will soon be elevated to city status. One of the requirements considered for the attainment of the city status was the availability of open spaces and a public arboretum. The previous administration under my leadership entered into partnership with Kenya Forest Service and signed a memorandum of understanding on establishment and management of an arboretum, a step which yielded excellent results. The arboretum was relaunched during the devolution conference held in 2023, disheartening that as I address this House, the arboretum has been neglected and members of the public cannot find value for the millions used to establish. I urge this honorable House to take necessary actions to bring the arboretum to life and allow members of the public to enjoy the intended services. Honorable Speaker, I also wish to laud our crop production officers because they played a key role in establishing cereal farmers' databases and working with national government to ensure that bona fide farmers access affordable fertilizer. The officers are our champions. Their diligent work has gone a long way in ensuring that this county produces more than an annual average of 21 million tons of cereals. I am also pleased to note that this administration has focused on availing agricultural mechanization services through the Agricultural Mechanization and Value Addition Services. As a consumer of affordable services from MS, I urge our farmers to exploit this government facility. I urge this honorable House to make AMFAS an autonomous parastatal as had been envisaged by the previous administration. A budget of 10 million shillings had been allocated for its formation in 2022-23 financial year budget. Additionally, I know that most farmers do not practice or not live to the need for soil conservation. AMFAS should play a role in helping farmers fight soil erosion through terracing, planting of windbreaks, among other measures. Honorable Speaker, in the last harvesting season, farmers complained about accessibility of government-owned dryers. They have issues with the dryer pricing as well as general availability of the equipment. I urge the county administration to host a forum with the farmers county legislators and senior officers from the State Department of Agriculture so that we can find a long-term solution to this problem. Honorable Speaker, some of the biggest challenges to value addition for dairy farmers is low milk production because of low quality livestock breeds and unsynchronized milk production cycle. These challenges also affect optimal use of the milk coolers already installed and running in our dairy cooperative societies. Honorable Speaker, our county had already received 23 coolers out of 46. The national government, through the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock, were to supply. I have engaged the ministry and have provided for the. I have engaged the ministry and have promised to provide for the remainder of the coolers in the 2024-25 financial year budget. As a solution, the previous administration, through Kenya Climate Smart Agriculture Program, helped farmers in developing quality pasture and improve milk production by 10 liters per cow per day. This program was called Operation Liter Kumi. A total of 12 cooperative societies across the 6 sub-counties were selected for this pilot program. Through the program, 2,400 acres of pasture to feed 1,200 cows were established. That is 2 cows per farm. This pilot project also synchronized 1,800 dairy cows and served them with sex semen. Synchronization also helped in reducing calving cycle to 1 calf every 2-3 years, thereby increasing the length of milk production. I urge this administration to borrow lessons from this project and extrapolate the program countywide in order for our farmers to take advantage of the national government program intended to increase farmers' income through the minimum milk price of Kenya shillings 50 per liter beginning July this year. Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya for ensuring that the new KCCs allocated 1 billion shillings, out of which 600 million shillings has already been disbursed to support this initiative. Honorable Speaker, the Department of Trade and Industrialization is the backbone of our county's socio-economic development. Through job creation, value addition, and attraction of investment, and subsequent generation of county revenue streams. However, there are unverified reports that the entire department staff, including other departments housed in KVDA, are currently working from home as a result of non-payment of rent. I urge this Honorable House to revisit the purchase of National Bank building that was previously stopped by EACC. But on investigation, the procurement process was given a clean bill of health. This would provide a lasting solution to the challenges of space for staff, as was observed by the Controller of Budget in the past reports. Honorable Speaker, there has been an outcry from members of the public on unplanned construction of lock-up stores along the highways and roads in Eldoret's Central Business District. These stores, I'm informed, were not approved by the road agencies. They were completed almost 1 year ago and have not been utilized. This therefore means there was no proper planning and thus no value for money. I urge the relevant House Committee to investigate this matter and give a way forward. The same has been picked up by the Office of the Auditor General. Honorable Speaker, may I also commend the county government for the collaboration with the national government in the construction of a new multi-storied retail market. This market will accommodate all our retail traders, thereby reducing hawking of farm produce on the streets of this soon-to-be city. A new and a large market means more space and more volumes of commodities to trade. I urge this Honorable House to work closely with the Executive and other national government agencies such as the Kenya Urban Roads Authority to tarmac roads leading to this market for easy access. The County Executive should clearly come out on the status of the illegal structure blocking the access road to the market and constructed on top of a sewer line near fields. This Honorable House should also make public the report on their investigation of the same, detailing the ownership, approval process, and a clear path to recover the public road. Honorable Speaker, I echo the move to partner with national government in establishment of county aggregation and industrial parks. This program should be fast-tracked as it will unlock industrial potential of about 1,000 units in Uasin Gishu County that are involved in manufacturing and cottage industries, thus creating employment for our youth. The location of KIPES in Moiben town goes a long way in adding value to the urban county planning of growing Moiben as an agro city. Even as we focus on KIPes, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the county administration should work together towards standardization of our micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Of our 19,000 MSMEs, only 3,800 are standardized. The Department of Liaison and Linkages should work with Kenya Bureau of Standards, Kenya Accreditation Services, Micro and Small Enterprise Authority, and other relevant bodies to avail standardization services here in Eldoret. Standardization enables businesses to access markets across the world. Honorable Speaker, in the recent past, several allegations and cases of insecurity have risen. Shop owners report incidences of extortion by quasi-political groupings said to be associated with or have political ties with the current administration. There have also been reports that small-scale traders are harassed by gangs. I will hold engagements with stakeholders to ascertain the veracity of these claims in the coming days. Honorable Speaker, I am pleased to note that this administration is maintaining and expanding county road networks. This is only achievable because we have quality machinery for the works. However, I note with a lot of concern the allegation of use of county machinery on contracted works. These machinery include, but not limited to, tippers, trucks, graders, backhoes, dozers, and compactors. If these allegations are true, the county executive will therefore need to provide agreements and revenues earned from hiring out equipment if the hiring rates are provided for in the Finance Act. Honorable Speaker, His Excellency Governor Jonathan B's manifesto championed for improved access to clean and sustainable water. I am pleased to note that the vision is well on course to realization. In this regard, I wish to applaud this Honorable House for passing the Wasingishu Rural Water and Sanitation Bill that enables the executive to establish a water company that will manage all water projects in the rural areas, thus creating sustainability. Honorable Speaker, the county has a good number of machinery for use in desilting, dredging, and drilling. I'm informed these machines are being put to good use, save for the dredging boat or water master alleged to have been used in Busia County for more than 3 months. If this was outsourced and charged as provided for in the Finance Act, the executive should be in a position to demonstrate that there was an agreement of how much revenue was received by the county through this trip. I therefore urge the Committee on Finance to investigate the report on how much was earned by the county, including the cost of transportation. Honorable Speaker, I am saddened that the building recently constructed out of the sewer system next to FIM still stands. There are claims that the construction is still ongoing. I will bring up this matter to the attention of the relevant National Assembly Committee as well as other national government agencies. Honorable Speaker, as I mentioned earlier, the Senate is a defender of devolution, and therefore we must work together as a team. The executive arm of county government, the legislative arm, and the Senate carries expectation and hopes of the people of our great county. It therefore calls for all of us to work together collectively without watering down our independence. Honorable Speaker, oversight role bestowed upon the Senate and County Assembly is a critical function. The county executive is mandated to implement projects and programs approved by this honorable assembly, whereas our role is to oversight on the implementation and utilization of the resources allocated to the county. I urge all of us to conduct this responsibility diligently and also identify areas of improvement for the executive. Honorable Speaker, I wish to note with appreciation the efforts the county executive has put in meeting all the requirements needed towards the conferment of Eldoret municipality to a city status. This will see the new city attract more investors that will in turn translate into businesses and job opportunities for young people, as well as provide linkages to more development partners. I also wish to thank this Honorable House and the Executive for elevating the 6 commercial centers, namely Moisbury, Ziwa, Tarbo, Keses, Pan Forest, and Moiben, into municipalities, a move that will spur socio-economic growth across the county, as well as attract the needed conditional grants benefiting municipalities and urban centers. In addition, Honorable Speaker, I urge this Honorable House and the Executive to consider Kipkorgot a shopping center and a fast-growing peri-urban center for elevation into a municipality or be carved within the borders of the new city of Eldoret. This will enable the area to qualify for World Bank funded projects, especially in aiding sewerage, and water connectivity. Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, allow me to thank the people of this county for giving us opportunity to serve them. We assure them of our commitment to bring hope to this county and country at large. The President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGA, and his Kenya Kwanza government has brought this country from a hole of financial debt, and the country is now on an upward trajectory. I also thank the President for personally taking keen interest in the subsidy of production rather than consumption, a strategy that has yielded enormous results. As a result of this, as a leadership of this county, we pledge our total support to the President and his development agenda, including the ongoing plans to dual the Moiben Junction Eldoret International Airport Kapsabet Road, the construction of the Eastern Bypass, the expansion of Eldoret International Airport, and the construction of the new Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. Honorable Speaker, I beseech the people of our county to meet their revenue obligation by paying taxes expected of them. We assure them that these resources will be put into proper use for the development of this county. Honorable Speaker, it is now my pleasure to table this speech for further deliberation by the honorable members of this House. May God bless the leadership of the leadership and the people of Uasin Gishu County and our country at large. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much. I now call my leader of majority to table the bill.
Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. I now wish to table the Senator's address as read today, 5th June 2024. And I know Honorable Speaker will be providing sufficient time for members to interact with this document and discuss the contents therein. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Since there is no any other business, this House stand adjourned till Tuesday 9:30 a.m. next week.